you will remember that in class I taught to you the little cheat sheet, the little note that you can write for yourselves to remember all of the different conversions for volume. So once again, volume is how much can be held in a container, right? So for example, if this was a bucket, the volume of the bucket would be how much water it can hold all the way up to the top. So that's what volume means. So in our last lesson, we talked about units of customary units for weight. So you knew that you had to memorize those. But now for volume, you don't have to memorize anything except you need to be able to draw this entire diagram from memory, which I think you already know how to do because we did it in class and everybody was able to do it. So basically what you need to know is that the largest unit for volume in US customary will be gallons. So that's a little bit like that big milk jug or water jug that you have in your refrigerator. And then the next one is quarts. You might have some milk in your fridge that's also in quart cartons. You've got pints is a little bit smaller. You've got cups which are smaller still. And then you've got fluid ounces, which is not the same as ounces for weighing. That would be 16 ounces as a pound, right? This is different. This is fluid ounces. That's why you see the FL in front of it, fluid meaning liquid, right? So this is completely different, even though it's got the same name of ounces. So make sure before you do anything that whenever you're solving problems to do with gallons, quarts, pints, cups, and fluid ounces, that you write this picture somewhere. I use the picture because I also have trouble remembering. So I'm going to put this picture to the side so that I can see it, and I can then start to grapple with the questions. So same as usual, you're beginning to pick up on this. I'm always going to write down what I know to help me solve the problem. So this is going from cups to fluid ounces. So I'm going to write down what I know, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my picture and I'm going to see, well, how many fluid ounces are in one cup? That's 8. So I'm going to write down 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. So if 1 cup is 8, I'm going to multiply 7 by 8. So that's going to give me 56 fluid ounces. Same thing with pints and cups. I'm going to look at my diagram and I'm going to say, okay, see that there are 2 cups in a pint, 2 C's and 1 P. So I know that 1 pint is 2 cups. So I'm going to have to multiply 2 by 16. And I know my 16 times table almost, because we have to do it so much. So I'm going to say that that's 32 cups. If you don't know how to do 16 times 2, make me happy and write it out so that we can see you're working out. And this time I'm going from quarts to pints. So I look at my picture again. How many P's are in 1 Q? There are 2. So I'm going to put down 1 quart is 2 pints. So I'm going to do 2 times 10. That's 20 gallons, 2 pints. Look at my picture. How many P's are in 1 entire G? So now I'm going to have to do some counting. So 1 entire gallon. How many pints? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know that 1 gallon is 8 pints. So I'm going to have to multiply 8 times 3. That gives me 24. This is a little different because we're comparing. So I'm going to look at my picture. It's 2 cups and 2 pints. Well, I know I'm looking at 2 of the P's. How many C's are in 2 of the P's? Well, there are 4, right? So if 2 pints is the same as, so that's 4 cups. Now they're speaking the same language. I know that 2 pints is actually bigger because I've just made them speak the same language. All this just by looking at my picture. 1 pint in cups. Well, I'm going to make this into cups, right? Because I want it to be the smaller number. So I'm going to look at 1p. 1p is actually 2 C's, right? So I'm going to put here 1 pint is actually 2 cups. So I know that 3 cups is more than 1 pint. Once again, I'm converting these so that they are all speaking the same language. All right, this one is a little bit tricky. You'll remember that sometimes when we have to convert, it's too big a step to convert from quarts to cups. So I'm actually going to break it up into steps. And I've written some of these steps out already so that I can remember. All right, so my first step is, well, I need to convert quarts to cups, but I'm not going to do quarts to cups. I'm actually going to do quarts to pints first. So I'm going to do it in a different step. So I've got 1 quart is how many pints? It's 2. So 1 quart is 2 pints. So how many pints would 32 be? So I'm actually going to have to do, because I can't do it in my head, maybe you can, 32 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. So now I know that 32 quarts is the same as 64 pints. Now what I can do is I can say, well, how many cups are in 64 pints, so that I can convert this into cups, because that's ultimately what I'm trying to do, is make these two speak the same language. I'm trying to figure out how many cups are in 32 quarts. So I'm going from pints to cups. So what do I know? So I'm going to look at my picture. I know that there are 2 cups in a pint. So 1 pint is 2 cups. If 1 pint is 2 cups, then I'm going to have to convert 2 cups times 64. If you can't do 64 times 2, then please do it on the paper. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. So that would be 128 cups. Oh, that's a lot of cups. All right, so what I've done here, once again, you can put this video into the slower speed to help you if I've gone too fast. But basically what I did was I had to break this up into several steps. I was trying to convert 32 quarts into cups so that it's the same measurement as this. So here what I've done is I've converted the cups first into pints and then the pints into cups, because I find that it's much more easy to do it that way than it is to try to go from quarts into cups. Okay.